Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is June 12th, 2011. Whoa, that sounded weird when I said it. I didn't actually look at it before I started talking. I should probably do that. That's a good idea. And you're watching Overgrowth Weekly 26. I am Silverfish, and with me today, as usual, is Anton.
Hey guys, how's it going?
I am hoping it's going great for them. I really am. So this week, or the past week, I guess, I have gotten a haircut. Isn't that awesome?
Yes, it's totally awesome.
Yeah, because that means that it's less hair to clean. Yes, clean is a word you can use. It's an actual word in the English language. Less hair to clean. I don't need to make sure that my hair is looking not awful when I go out in public. That's also an upside.
Awesome.
And a potential downside, it's different from person to person, I guess, but it is that you might look like a rapist, or you might look like a Nazi. That's also a possibility, like a new Nazi. I don't know what it's called in English, but we
Neo-Nazi.
neo-Nazi. We call those new Nazis in Sweden.
Well, that is what neo means.
Oh yeah, right, but that's not an English word, so.
Yeah, but
Anyways,
that's how we refer to it anyway.
yeah. But I'm a lucky guy because I don't look like any of those. And what I'm talking about is I took off all my hair. I have like 1 or 2 millimeters, so it's great. I'm really
Oh,
happy.
wow, so um, you really cut it back, huh?
I did. I really did. But yeah, I'm one of the lucky few, or one of the many, I hope, who doesn't look like a rapist. So I'm very happy about that.
Awesome.
So what's
We
been going
prefer
on
you
with
to
you,
not
man?
look like that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, um, as some of you may have heard, I was at E3 most of the week, so that's kind of it. It's been a busy week, full of fun and excitement.
And you're feeling great? Are you like, will you be able to do this? I heard you had quite a few networking meetings.
We we did have several interesting networking meetings, and luckily, I did after dropping John off at the airport on Friday. I slept for about 12 hours that night. So
Whoa,
yeah, so
crazy. But we're going to talk a bit more about that later in the show when we're
I
talking
think
about
so.
E3 stuff. But for now, we should probably move right on into Overgrowth Weekly. So let's take a look at the latest alpha as usual.
Excellent.
So, what's new in this week's alpha? Cut planes for blood drip from sword strikes. This is very epic. So what I'm going to do here is add a little weapon for you guys, so I can demonstrate this. Let's add the dog broadsword, and then let us add a character. Let's add a god. And then I'm going to control turn, I'm going to go to this god, and I'm going to cut him. And the blood will proceed to come from this rabbit, from the position where I cut him, as you can see. And this
Yay.
is done through the use of cut planes. I don't know if that's a general term for planes or something, but whatever. It's a cut plane, so that's cool. You can see more of that stuff in the video. He shows them with visualizations and stuff. It's super cool. You should check that out if you're interested. But basically, the blood comes from in the same direction where you cut him, and the blood actually comes. That didn't actually happen before either, so all cool stuff.
Yes.
Indeed. Of course, there's a lot of work to still do on this, but it's a good beginning at least. And then we have some minor stuff like softer blood splatlighting, blood is shadowed properly by environment, and blood drips can collide with the character holes. It feels like he did a lot of work to get this to work, because he shows in the video how he displays the character holes, which is like it is a simpler representation of the characters that are easier to use in actual calculations and stuff like that. But it feels like that wasn't made very like that doesn't feel like that was made in 5 minutes, so to speak. And having blood drips colliding with characters, I don't know. Maybe they can reuse these holes somehow, but it feels like a lot of work to just get the blood drips to work.
Yeah, it makes me think that there's probably a lot more going on with that because I thought he also used the hulls now as well for something else, but I don't remember.
Oh yeah, for the ragdolls, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe the ragdolls, but I thought it might have also had to do with instead of using the ellipsoids or in conjunction with using the ellipsoids for detection of objects or something.
For collisions, do you mean?
Yeah, for collisions, but I'm not. Don't quote me on that because, like I said, I've been at E3 all week and wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. It could be that. But he did mention we're going to get to that later. Convex hull shapes for character collision. That's what this says. And then smoother transition into ragdoll. So, yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Perhaps, maybe not. I don't
The
know.
transition? I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, we can all be wrong. But yeah, anyways, we're not quite sure. It's not incredibly clear in the video either, but in any case, all good stuff, I guess. And then we have sine wave modulation for flail strength. And for anyone who doesn't know what a sine wave is, it's just a wave, basically. Imagine a simple wave like this, a wave, and it's using a wave like that to kind of shift between the flail strength, shift within the flail strength, so to speak. So the flail strength will regularly go up and down to make it
Right.
look less, less like an animation and more like he's actually just flailing more randomly.
Right. Which I think is a cool way to do it. It's definitely sort of taken from the audio world, actually. We have in analog synthesis, we have a thing called low frequency oscillators. An oscillator essentially just creates a waveform, and at a low frequency means it's lower than what we can hear, but you can then use that signal to modulate other objects, and it's essentially the same concept. So it's kind of cool to see that being used in animation as well.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, as I said, it looks really good. It really makes it look more natural. I guess they could even use some more sine waves that don't line up to make it almost 100% random looking, and like add in some other animation. Yeah, you can sine waves used like this. You can do a whole lot with it, so it's really cool to see.
Absolutely.
And then we have don't auto-wake if falling above a speed threshold, which is also very awesome. Means that when you hit someone off a ledge, he won't automatically go back into running around mode. When he's in the air, he will keep being a ragdoll until he hits the ground and hopefully dies, or have a lucky landing and then stand up when he's actually on the ground. So that's cool to see.
Yes. I think it will mostly result in death.
Yeah, I think so too. But I don't know. Maybe if you land on cotton candy on your feet or something, or on your hand,
You just
perhaps.
happen to land on your feet.
Yeah, you just happen to land in cotton candy on your feet. I don't know. Maybe that will happen in Overgrowth. Well, anyways. And then we have initial climb animation, which I'm going to show you here right now. Let's see. Do I have something to climb on
Awesome.
here? Let's just add an object. Let's just add an object. It's so quick. I'm going to remove my objects first. And then we hit the plus, create block. And here we have the climb animation. Hua! Oh yeah! In slow motion. In slow motion. Not perfect yet, as you can see, but it's a good initial animation, I'd say.
Right.
Looks quite okay. It's better than having no animation at all, for sure.
Exactly.
So let's move this block again and see. Oh, okay. And next up we have low thrust, punch, and haymaker variations. Not really a lot to show there. We showed the low and low variations of the attacks for the other attacks last week. And this is basically the same thing. He will strike downwards if his opponent is on the ground or you know, stuff like that. Instead of just punching straight forward into the air. Makes not a lot of sense to do that.
And this is pretty fantastic news for the realism factor.
Yeah,
we're always happy about this.
Same here. Makes it feel, yeah, just a lot more satisfying when you're actually hitting your opponents as opposed to hitting above them in the air, and when the opponents are like, "Ugh, you hit me!" I'm like, no, man, you can just relax.
Yep.
Yep. But that's it for the weekly alpha. Not a whole lot of super cool stuff this week, but still a lot of cool improvements. And we hope to see more stuff in the coming weeks, of course. But now we're going to move on to the community segment. And first up there is, as usual, the fan art watch, where we take a look at what's new in the fan art thread on the Wolf5 forums. So, we have this one here. I think that's the only one. Okay, someone added another one just 56 minutes ago.
Yeah, just about an hour ago.
But first we have this image by Relo Foxtrot. And he writes, well, have been looking through this and thinking, wow, yeah, I can understand that. A lot of cool stuff here. Got my own piece to contribute, also wondering if it's possible to create this scene using the building blocks in OG. Would be interesting. Let's see if this is bigger. Yes, it is. So there you have it. This is his image, and do you think it could be recreatable in Overgrowth?
Well, I think Endo Perez kind of mentioned some strong cases as to why it is possible, but it would take a lot of time to model, because caves would have to be completely modeled. The you know, because of the height maps that they're using for the terrain, caves can't really exist.
Yeah.
And
so you need to actually model them manually.
Right. Someone in the chat says you have a sexy accent, just so you know.
Oh, sweet.
Well, they thought it was me at first, so. Anyway, I'm glad you're happy. So if you were to just try and model a cave, it would the inside of it would be invisible, so you'd be able to see out. So you have to model both sides of the cave and then really make it fully surround you. So it's a little difficult to make something like this, although it's a cool idea. In particular, he said the cave that you're in right now would be easier than the cave that's in the distance, because the cave in the distance is sort of stuck into the terrain. So unless you sculpt the entire mountain, also there's no local lighting, as we know, so lighting a cave would be difficult.
Yeah.
And there's still no water, so
yeah,
in the game.
Mr. Waterfall here might have some trouble actually appearing.
So while I think it would be a cool concept, there's still a lot of missing features to make it work.
Yeah, I actually think that it would be quite possible to recreate it. I mean, you can take the modular approach when making a cave as well, right?
True.
where you could just make perhaps two kind of wall pieces, perhaps some kind of pointy thing coming down from the roof piece or whatever. Just make small, simple pieces, and then you put them together into a cave. That would be quite taxing, though. So, yeah, I don't know. As you and whoever it was said, let's see,
Endo
Endoperes.
Perez. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
As you guys said, it would be probably a lot of work, unless you can somehow use the official models, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, pretty cool stuff by Relo Foxtrot. And then we have this image it's super duper fresh by Wolf Brother 9393. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he's a very cool guy. He is watching right now. Hi Wolf Brother. So let's see what he's writing. Here's a quick wallpaper I cooked up. I wanted something that had a simple color scheme, no ranging trees, nothing too complicated. The eye served as a good blank background, and as you can see, Turner and a guard lying on the ground after what seems to be an intense battle. I added the logo at the bottom right. I think he means the bottom left, because it's awesome, and of course for a wallpaper you need to have a logo. And that is entirely true. But it's actually, yeah, in the bottom left. Actually. So yeah, I like this image. It's, as he says, he's put some thought into it, and that's quite clear.
Yep.
I'm just, since it's so simple, I'm not quite sure about the positioning of the characters. I think they could perhaps have been somewhere a bit up a bit and then to the right, but these are just small preference things from me. I like having stuff in the edges, kind of in the edges, but not quite in the edge somehow. But yeah, in general, very cool wallpaper. And
It also depends where you place your objects, on
your icons.
for all those of us. Yeah, well, by default on the Mac, they line up on the right-hand side of the screen, whereas I know Windows, they line up on the left. So
Oh, yeah.
putting it further to the right would actually conflict with the icons on a Mac.
That's entirely true.
So
It comes down to personal preferences, I guess.
exactly.
But yeah, as I said, in general, very cool wallpaper, though it's very small. I guess he has just a small monitor, so that's fine, I guess. But I wouldn't be able to use this because this is half of my monitor or something in total. Like 3/4 on one side, 3/4 on the other side, something like that. But yeah, if this is the size of his monitor, I can't really complain. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, cool picture indeed. And that's all for the fan art watch for this week. Let us move on. Let us move on to the mods and maps for this week. And first up we have Last, whose Blood mod has been updated. And the update for this week, he ported most of his code, but the update for this week is that hand-to-hand combat has blood dripping now. And so that means when you're hitting a character, there will be blood dripping, and not only blood splurting. Other than that, it should be pretty much the same thing as from the previous week. Let's just try this out here. Let's take a look at these guys. Oh, no blood. No blood. Blood, please. Oh, no blood. Give me blood. Oh, no blood. Oh, there we go. Yeah. As you can see, it gets all blood and stuff, so that's cool. Oh, what do I have here? What's this? Why do I have... Okay, this is... Oh! It's some kind of debug thing. Okay, I just found this out, but... apparently you can... I guess David used this to check the holes on the characters. You have kind of a small sphere on your mouse cursor when you mouse over a character now. This is just a debug thing that'll probably be removed very soon, but still it's... yeah, cool.
Interesting. I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool actually. I guess people could use that to, if anyone wants to use some kind of ray tracing right now, who's making a mod and wants to check out how to see if you're mousing over a character, now is your chance to steal that code. Whoosh, thumbs up. Oh yeah. Let's revive you, little Turner, and remove the blood. There we go. And let's move on. Let's move on. And Last has been a bit active this week. He has made a map as well. A whale arena map, so let's see what he writes about this. Here's my custom map I make. It's a work in progress, and it tells about some random stuff. Yes, there's an error, and that's fine. And it fixes the whaleman statue XML file, so the whaleman uses the correct shader, which is good. If you don't want to do that, you can just download this. So he has his own height map for this thing, which is pretty cool. Something we don't see very often at all. I'm just going to fly around this actually because it looks better from the air. I mean, it looks good from the ground, but it looks even better from the air. Something that caught my eye initially was the shadows from the trees, which look very nice actually. I haven't seen these tree shadows ever, I think. Not
Wow.
this good looking. Would you agree? Have you seen something like this before?
Not that I remember. They look pretty fantastic.
Yeah, they do, don't
Is
they?
that something that he changed?
I don't think so. I guess he just imported the trees or something. And then we haven't seen the trees enough. I don't know. But it looks great in any case. I don't think he changed it. I'm pretty sure he did not. And right here we have some kind of graveyard, it looks like. Also with pretty trees. Very nice. And another exit from the graveyard leading up to some kind of shrine here with two models, a rabbit and a wolf. Nice stuff, nice stuff. Snow on the mountains, etc, etc, very cool. Looks like a frozen waterfall here almost. Not quite sure what it is, but that's what it looks like. And then he imported the arena as well, as you can see. I don't think he edited this too much, so that should be pretty much the same thing. And here you have the whaleman models. It's a pretty cool map. Like in general, it would be... Right now it has no gameplay, there are no enemies or anything in it, it's just, you know, a cool map. I guess he wanted to try out adding in his own terrain and just mess around with that and then just make some kind of map out of it, and he did a good job, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
It totally is, but he should make some kind of gameplay for this, in my opinion. Add in some enemies or something like that, give it some action. But as I said, it looks good so far, so hopefully we'll see more from Last in the future. I'm pretty sure we will, since he's been quite active. He keeps updating that blood mod, and I'm very surprised he's still doing that.
I guess he likes the blood.
Yeah, I guess he does.
It's probably also a pretty easy update for him now. He just has to find out where to insert his code at the moment, probably.
Yeah, I guess. Still though, I did do a mod, as you know, quite a while ago. And the thing there was that a lot of code is often moved around and stuff like that, so it could be hard to figure out. And since Daily is working a bit on the blood right now as well, that means that code will change quite a bit, and perhaps some references will change and stuff like that. So yeah, sometimes you really need to check out what's going on with the code and maybe rewrite some stuff, move some stuff around, but
Sure.
yeah, should be relatively easy anyways. And it's good that he keeps updating it. It's a pretty cool mod, and if he didn't update it, no one would be able to use it.
Yes, I thoroughly enjoy that mod every time I install it, so...
Yeah, indeed, indeed. But let us move on. Let us move on. Next up, we have Anton's E3 tweets.
Oh, we don't have another level before that?
Oh, right, I just jumped over a whole level. Oh crap, good, I have you here. Yes, so we have said Deadly map, which was released, so I'm going to switch over to your stream now if you're ready.
Sure. No, there was. I think there were some instructions on how to play this level, which
Yes, so let me read those instructions while I switch to your stream actually. Is that okay?
Okay.
Because it'll be black for a while. Okay, so he writes, "Oh hi everyone, now you can test out my new map with the lethal areas and checkpoints." Happy face. And he writes here, "Foot pillows works as checkpoints." The orange foot pillows you see there, they are checkpoints using the
Okay.
linear level kit that was made by Zramuliz. Red kind of rock is lethal area, as you can see on the outside there.
I'm guessing that's what this is right here. So if I jump on this, I will die. Oh, there it goes.
Yep, you're dead now. Added a working dog spear, just something he threw in there, I guess. So the dog spear you should be able to kill people with the dog spear now, basically. The entrance is the bottom one, and the finish is the top of the building. Yeah, pretty basic. Changed some checkpoint stuff. Added arrows not to avoid confusion. And he added the spawn point, so you didn't need to add that. So that's very good. Let's play through this, man.
So I have not yet seen this or played this, so it's all new to me. And right away we're lost. So it looks like I can go down here.
Yes, indeed. As per request by
Said himself.
Indeed. Whoa! You almost fell.
I did almost fall. Man, this is pretty tricky maneuvering in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wish I had your walking mod for this.
Yeah, that would be useful.
Yeah, because it looks like I can almost jump across to that other... There we go. That's a little better.
Yeah.
Oh, but I still have to go down through that hole.
Oh, nice. Very close to falling off the ledge there. Oop. Some kind of lag here.
Yep. All right. Checkpoint. Yes. There's some lag on the video.
Yeah, it's messing up crazy. It's like a disco now. Oh yeah, now we're back. There were like disco lights and different stuff going on. It was pretty cool. Pretty damn awesome.
So these little tubey things are pretty cool. All right, so I'm going up. Did I go down the wrong one? Oh, looks like I picked the right one. Awesome. And another checkpoint. We like checkpoints. So I guess I think there was a little tube I could have gone down, and it looked like I went down the right one the first time. So maybe I'll have to go back and try it again.
Let's just keep moving for now.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll come back. I heard a guy hiding from me. I thought I was going to die.
Oh.
So there's lots of little guys hiding in these rooms, apparently. Which these rooms are great. Oh! Yes. I thought I heard a wolf growling at me.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I'm on top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and there's a nice guy. But I didn't find the spear, so I bet that the spear is down the other tube, maybe?
That is actually incorrect. You should go into the other room by the guys you just killed.
Aha!
Aha!
There we go. I now have a working spear, which I of course want to try out, so I'm going to cheat and revive some guys.
You shit! You shit!
And unfortunately, I'm apparently missing... Oh, this is right. There's an issue with the Mac version where the blood splatter is missing some stuff, and I have not updated that yet.
I see.
But I like the cool metal sound. I don't know if that was something that David added.
What metal sound?
When the spear dropped.
Oh.
It's a pretty metal sound when it hits the ground. I like it.
Yeah, I think actually that's by David, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though. But do you want to go down the other pipe as well?
I think I will, but I'm gonna go kill.
You can't.
Oops. Wow. I guess I can't change characters.
Did the game crash or something?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did.
We're
It
seeing
disappeared. I
rainbow
tried to
colors again. It's nice.
I tried to change colors, trying to change characters.
How dare you try to change characters?
I wanted to kill what did I misread the level name.
Said Dudley, it's called.
Said Deadly, that's right. Sorry guys, didn't mean to crash on you here.
Stuff happens, man. It's an alpha. What you gonna do, man? What you gonna do?
That is true. This has maybe been the most buggy alpha I've had in months, you know. So I would say that I'm okay with a couple um, small bugs.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've lost sound as well. Started.
That's okay though, I think. Unless you can get. Oh yeah, you got it to work in like 2 seconds. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty easy.
No man, you're just that pro. It was hard.
Nope. I died. Okay. Well, we'll see if I can get back to the other tube. Is there maybe I should ask, Seth, is there anything interesting down that tube that's worth going back for?
I don't really think there is. Actually, I know there isn't. So
Okay.
we should
Then I will do
probably.
it on my own time.
Yeah.
I
You could
just
do
know
it.
before.
You
Hmm?
could try casually try while we're talking about it. So
Sure.
you've played the map. What did you think? Do you have any thoughts about it?
My only real concern is the spacing, and it really has nothing to do with his map in general, as with being against walls and not being able to move the camera around myself to where I would like to go can sometimes be a little bit frustrating. Um, that that's kind of my only issue with it, and it's really related to the level design. I mean, not the level design, but overgrowth in general.
Yeah, that's just the code almost. I feel like every time that happens, I get pissed off in some way that I can't have the camera where I want it to. Like I don't care if the camera goes through the character. That doesn't. I really don't care about that. It doesn't bug me or anything. It does bug me when the camera moves so that I cannot see what I want to see or that I cannot walk in the direction that I want to walk. Because since you don't have an analog stick or anything in Overgrowth, you kind of use your camera to make small adjustments instead. You use your mouse, I mean.
Yes.
So if you can't look in a specific direction, then you can't walk in a specific direction. And that kind of makes me angry.
Yeah, although there are times when it seems very appropriate. So I'm not I don't hate the idea, I just hate the way it feels at times.
Yeah, I'd say I agree with that.
So
And
um
yeah, one thing I thought about when playing this map was that the checkpoints are in kind of weird places. Like we have a checkpoint in the beginning, and then you need to walk a while, and then you get to the actual dangerous place. I would appreciate if the checkpoints were in closer proximity to the actual dangerous place, so that I could just try it over and over again until I beat it. Because that's what checkpoints are for, in my opinion, to just not have to walk as much. So that I don't want to have to walk to, you know, through the whole level to get to this place that I can't get past, and I don't want to have to walk anywhere when the checkpoints could just as well be super duper close to the actual obstacle.
right. Well, I think that's an issue of how many checkpoints, and that's a balance that we haven't quite gotten to in this game yet. So
Yeah, Probably.
I just had a really difficult time going down that pipe the last time.
Yeah, and
It's just now showing up.
and
now?
something else I was thinking about was that it's very gray. I think we talked about this before for in another map, but it's pretty dull to look at, and it could use a bit more of a theme, or just change in themes, or some more definite just art style or direction. It's just quite boring to look at.
Yeah, I mean yeah. It's so easy to adjust color in this game now. It seems a waste to not do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think is the key.
And it's fine to have. I think actually, I think it's fine to have a pretty boring environment, but you can actually make a boring environment much less boring by just adding in splashes of color in different places. Like, I think actually Wolf Brother did this. I think it was his map at least, where he used color to guide the player. But most of the tiles were, just gray, and then he splashed in those colors, and those kind of made the level much more fun to look at for some reason. It's kind of weird, but that's just how it works for some reason.
So I finally made it to the end, and or the end of this little place. Actually, I'm glad I did, because I like his little wrong sign.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go kill myself so I can spawn back in a good spot.
And now I finally made it to this place, and I'm kind of happy I did, but now I'm going to go kill myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, that's actually... I know you didn't mean it like that, but that's kind of how I felt. Like, oh my god, I got her, and it's not right. I kind of disagree with making a path that's just a wrong path, especially having it be hard to go. It would have been fine if it was just running. Oh, you just wasted like 15 seconds or something. But if you, like you did now, you had to try that thing out for quite some time before you could get it right. It took you probably like 5 minutes or something, and just to find out what if that was the first place you just walked to, and yeah, that wouldn't have been a whole lot of fun.
No. It's funny though, I've actually been thinking of making a map, and as I've started to do that, I've thought about making incredibly wrong paths that you can go before you have to wander back, but maybe now I will reconsider that before I get going.
Yeah, you should.
Although, I think if it's a maze, that's kind of the idea,
Yeah, I guess. But this isn't really a maze. I mean, it's just in one place where you can go in another direction and mess up. In this level at least. I don't know, maybe we're talking about your level or something?
No.
Okay.
No, this one. I'm just saying in the future, I've been thinking about, and I've sort of diagrammed a little bit of a map, and I'm like, well, I want it to be that it takes a while to realize whether or not you've gone the wrong way, and I want there to be a lot of choices in direction that you can go.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be too frustrating. I know. I'm not a seasoned map maker by any means. I have made 2 maps in games ever, and you guys have seen them all. So
yeah,
my word should not be taken as the most accurate.
Mm-hmm. But we do listen in anyway, Anton. Because you're our friend, and that's what friends do.
Yay!
Listen to each other. Indeed. But yeah, this is said deadly level, and that's what we think about that level. In general, pretty cool, but could be a lot better, basically.
Oh, I lost you there for a sec. Yes, it's a great map. I'm happy to see the linear level kit being used. So
Yeah,
It's exciting.
I still haven't used it for that level I was talking about. I've been talking about it for 3 weeks or something, I think. Yeah, I'm lazy like that, I guess. But I'm going to switch back to my stream now.
Okay.
Lep, and we're back. And now we're going to move on to the next one here. I almost missed a said deadly map, which would have been very douchey of me. But let's move on. Anton's E3 tweets. So Anton, you've been tweeting during your E3-ness, and there have been a lot of pictures and stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
So what do you have to say about that?
Well, at one point we had talked about what I could do to, to sort of cover the fact that I was at E3 for you guys. And when I got there, I realized that it's kind of tricky, actually, to sort of take a lot of pictures all the time. It's one giant crowd and pretty craziness going on. So I just kind of started finding little things that I thought might be amusing and tried to be a little bit more funny than, because honestly, one thing that John talks about a lot is that when you're at E3, it's almost actually harder to cover what's going on at E3 than it is to actually just watch the podcast, the live streams and stuff at home. It's you actually miss a lot by being there. So I stopped trying to find specifics. So
yeah,
I go ahead.
It's more of a getting to know other people in the business thing, I guess.
Well, certainly for me that was the case. So,
I guess some people stand in line for 5 hours to play the Wii U instead.
Yeah, well, that was it. Is like so many of the demonstrations as we were there. There's a line, and it's a long line. It's like Disneyland length lines. So, it's it can take a while to see something. So there were things that we caught through the line, where we jumped through the line and were able to and see the presentations that they had provided. So, but
You jumped through the line?
jumped through the line. Yeah. No, there were things with short lines. So we jumped in line there and saw a couple things. Sorry, I'm a little tired. A lot of late nights and early mornings this week for me. So, I don't know. I thought some of these images were pretty cool. It looks like I see you at the on live stuff with John, and
yeah, that's pretty recent.
Yeah, and the on live booth definitely was very cool, and we were happy to hang out with them. And as our next item we'll cover, we actually went to an on live party that was quite interesting. So.
So, since you've been talking to the on live guys, will Overgrowth be on live?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Overgrowth has already been announced that it will be on live.
Oh.
I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're like, if it makes sense or something. I don't know.
Well, certainly given the fact that the Humble Bundles have been all, there's been some collaboration with OnLive. There certainly is a lot of talk about it, and the two companies are very happy to be working with each other, I think. So, I wouldn't be surprised personally, but I guess I can't say officially yes or no.
I see, cool. And the final picture we're going to take a look at while talking about this is, of course, the Duke Nukem Forever picture.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I wanted Derver to give me a quote.
Yeah.
to fit over that picture.
He's good at doing the Duke Nukem thing. But it's awesome.
He is. It was a fun picture. Um, the chair was not as comfortable as it looked like it should have been. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, it looks like it's too long between the armrests, and the armrests are too high and stuff. Pff,
No,
like,
that didn't bother me. I kind of liked that.
mm-hmm.
Just the it looked like it should be soft, and it was just kind of hard.
It was
hard
fake.
hard with yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, people are asking me in the chat how the girls were, and I feel like I'm ruining the surprise, but these particular girls had definitely been in the business longer than some of the others. Um, so yeah, I was a little bit surprised how old the one on the right in particular was up close.
I
But
see.
um, but it's always fun. There are so many girls walking around. It's unusual because most gaming events that I go to, um, which are like networking events, there are hardly any girls there. So
Yeah, but I guess it works well on a, like, when every single person who's going there is a male nerd. I guess girls are pretty effective tools to get
add
them to check your stuff out.
yeah, yeah, and it all seems fun. For the most part, people seem to be pretty um, nice about it, and in some cases, the girls actually do serve a purpose. Like at the Saints Row, not the display, but Saints Row had a parking lot outside of the convention where they had Saints Row girls that would wash your car for you. That was pretty awesome. I think I have some video footage of that, but I haven't really had time to sort through the video footage.
Sweet. So that's cool, and now we can kind of segue into the official news segment, where we take a look at the blog post that John wrote. I should say you didn't wrote it. You didn't wrote it. Look at my English when I speak at it. So John wrote this blog post about E3 and what went on there, with more pictures and even more awesome, cool stuff in general.
Yep.
And so yeah, he kind of goes through what kind of stuff they checked out, what kind of people they met, and what kind of pictures they took. And
Yes.
and we have some kind of pictures where he's not having the classical John smile that we always see, which is good.
He very specifically said he was going to not use that smile as much as possible. So it was a conscious choice. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that you noticed.
It's almost kind of apparent. I mean, you can see that you can see that his heart is not always in there. Like in this picture, he's kind of half-heartedly getting strangled. He would look much better with a smile, since that's what his comfort zone, But I guess he gotta test some stuff out and find other things, find other things he can do while getting his picture taken.
Well, and that picture was fun. That rabbit showed up quite a few times. It was kind of awesome.
Cool. Was the rabbit aware of Wolfire Overgrowth, or was it just everywhere at the same time?
I ran into him once, and he was promoting some video project of rabbits killing people. I think some like short films stuff or something like that. So
Something like that. But
yeah.
what was I thinking? Oh yeah, do you actually talk to the guys in these costumes?
Um,
Or is it more of a hey, haha, and then you leave or something?
yeah, usually it's more of a oh hey haha, they
Yeah.
they, I think they're not supposed to respond back. Um because if it's the wrong voice for the character. The
Yeah.
the girls tend to talk more than the people in costume, which I can't say whether or not they're guys or girls. Meaning like the Space Marines and the bunny and things like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I just get this picture of a guy in a costume just standing around having like a serious conversation with a bunch of guys on the show floor, like like the guy in the
I'm
bunny suit being like doing like serious hand motions and stuff. Like yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool stuff, cool stuff.
I'm sure it happens sometimes,
It
but
should happen. It could be awesome.
yeah.
I would like to speak to a guy in a bunny suit.
They are pretty tiring though as well. So I've worn suits like that once or twice, and they're hot and uncomfortable, and the heads are gigantic, and you know.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. Cool stuff. So this E3 post, yeah, check it out, man. Check it out.
Yeah, yeah, and he talks a little bit about the fact that we went out to the guys with On Live, and when we were at On Live, kind of funny. He sort of briefly hints at the fact that we were talking to the guys from Namco Bandai, and when he says the execs, we were sitting there having a pretty interesting conversation. And finally, we were like, "So what are you?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm the CFO," and this guy's the COO. And we were like, "What? Oops."
What?
Yeah. So, um, certainly, certainly cool. I mean, it was fun chatting with all of those game developers, and we ended up going to a lot of parties, including the Indiecade and the parties with the indies. And what is sort of interesting to me anyway is that the parties with the indies and the parties with the big name companies always end up being about the same. You end up hanging out and chatting, and it's a fun time. So definitely fun to hang out with the game devs, both on both levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been able to go to E3. I mean, here in Sweden, we don't have a lot of stuff, which just like events and stuff. In America, of course, you have E3, you have loads of other things that that you just don't have in any other place in the world. But in Sweden, I guess we have DreamHack, and
Right.
we have some kind of gaming thing, I think, on the island that's further out to the east from Sweden, the Fat Island. And I guess there are some things in Stockholm sometimes. But
Sure.
yeah, not a whole lot of big ones except for DreamHack. And yeah, about DreamHack, I'm going to DreamHack in a week or whatever. It's like in a week or something. Yeah. So I don't know if anyone's there and they want to meet. I don't know, probably not. I don't know how many Swedes are watching, and if they're watching, I doubt they'll actually be going to DreamHack. But if that's the case, then let me know, and perhaps we can meet up and have some sex. I mean, just talk, man.
Oops.
Oops. Oops. No, but seriously though, let's move on. So next up we have Art Asset Overview number 14. So it was quite a while since the last Art Asset Overview, wasn't there?
It feels like it was.
Yeah.
Although I don't. It was also the same general topic. So I think this is the third one in a row featuring the arena.
Yes. So what we're going to do now is take a look at that video, and then we'll be back and we'll be talking about it. So
Awesome.
enjoy, guys. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Overgrowth Art Asset Overview. This week I'm going to be showing some of the new art assets that I made for the arena set and talking a little bit about the modular pieces in general. I've created 16 models for this set so far, and A lot of the models have as many as 5 or 6 unique texture maps. I've been using the website cgtextures.com to get most of my textures. It's a pretty great site and free. I have a subscription to it, but it's not required. You can see here I'm using David's new feature to tint just the tiles, so I can make this look more like terracotta. Or I can change just the umbrella covering to whatever color I want. The textures for the detail map objects consist of a color map, a normal map for bump details, specular map for shininess, a weight map for defining the detail map textures, and 4 detail maps. I've added some details to the outside of the arena, like the relief carving I mentioned a couple videos ago, and also these flying buttresses. Some people complained about the arena looking a bit too plain, so this kind of dresses it up a bit. You can see I was trying out 3 different possible options for the arena. If we have more than one arena in the game, we might end up using all of these options. Although I think the flying buttresses are a little bit showy, I really like moving in and around them, so I think that if I had to pick one, that's what I would go with. I also made some objects to detail the interior of the arena. This is a bit more tricky because it's important not to have details get in the way of gameplay. For example, the columns on the wall can make it a lot harder to wall run. I still have a lot of plans for new things to add to the arena, but that's it for this week. Thanks for watching the Overgrowth Art Asset Overview, and don't forget you can pre-order at wolfire.com/preorder. Thanks.
And that was the art asset overview for this week. So, yeah, okay, so we're going to go through what he was talking about in the video and just go through them one by one. So, first off here, he shows all of the objects that he has been creating. Are you here, by the way, Anton?
I am here.
Good.
Thanks for checking.
Yeah, so he shows off all the objects that he's been creating here, and he kind of starts talking about the that he's been using CG textures to get the textures, which is a very good site, cgtextures.com. Have you been there, Anton?
I haven't, but I'm also not really a graphics guy, so I'm not that surprised.
Yeah.
But I haven't been there.
It's still a cool site, though. I mean, almost even if you're not into textures, it's fun to see the kind of textures they have there. They have a lot of stuff. So if you do, if you're not very good at creating textures, or you just need some kind of base texture to work more quickly, which I guess is what Ninjas is using it for, or Aubrey, I should say, then cgtextures.com is a very good website. And here he starts showing the color tinting tool that he's using to change the tint of the objects, and of course that's a very good way to create variations in objects very, very quickly, and change the mood very, very quickly in a level as well.
Right.
It's a really, really great tool. Makes you almost want to create every single object to make in kind of a gray color, just so that you can use the color tinting tool as well as possible.
Well, I sort of think that is why some, like the Crete objects and even the arena, is probably sort of these grayish colors, because then there will be options to color it up later on. You know,
yeah.
You can, depending on where it is, you know, it's sort of a mostly blank canvas that can then be updated a little bit Probably with some tinting, and then probably also some colored decals and things like that. Would be pretty easy to change the overall look of the arena.
Yeah, totally, totally.
Which is what, I keep hearing people complain, like in the comments, about it being too drab, not enough color, which I think is just kind of short-sighted a little bit. I think, um, yeah. So I think that perhaps it would be easy to update more color and more accents and things like that without really him having to draw them all in on these textures.
Yeah, sorry.
You can just agree with me.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
know you were talking with someone.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I agree, Anton. I agree.
I was just saying that it will be easy. People have complained in the comments that there's not enough color variation and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think it will actually be easier to use decals and things to customize it to different scenes. So,
Yeah, totally. So you can use these tools that David provided to quickly make, just bring color to a scene if you really want to. It's really very, very little work to do so. So that's nice.
yeah, I think it will actually be faster than trying to create lots of assets with different coloring and things like that.
Yeah, totally, totally.
So,
And right here, he's shown off the 3 different variations of exterior detail that he has made for the arena. And he says that he likes the pillar one most, the first one, because he likes running in and around the pillars. And I like that he puts it like that he says it in that way. That is like, I like doing this, so this is probably good. And that's his whole thought process, and that makes total sense from a gameplay standpoint and every standpoint.
right.
So that's very good. I'm not quite sure which one I like the most. As he says, the pillars feel kind of overkill. I almost feel like the rightmost alternative would fit best, but as he says, it probably feels kind of great to run in and around the pillars. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Overall aesthetically, I'm definitely sort of a simple look, so I kind of like the rightmost set. But they all have their advantages, I think. And the middle set looks like it would be possible to climb up the outside. So if you were to if you had to ambush someone while a fight was going on in the arena, you could, in theory, make it a stealth climbing location or something,
Yeah, absolutely. That's
So,
totally. Okay, so next up, what's he talking about next up? Oh yeah, so other than exterior detail, of course, you have interior detail, and these are kind of just small additions here to begin with, some kind of things, I don't know what they're called, supports? Does that make sense?
yeah, I mean, you could call them supports. I think there's an official name, but I don't know what they are.
Let's call them supports. And then he's talking about adding detail to the walls in the arena where you're actually fighting, and how that can be annoying for gameplay, which is something that I have been thinking about as well. It's
Right.
very... If you're adding something in the arena, it could make it hard to do wall runs and stuff like that. And I had to think about that because a long time ago I actually started working on a set, like kind of an Arabic set, and it was kind of a problem because I wanted to keep every single wall plane towards the bottom, and since you can jump so incredibly high in this game, that's a lot of very plain walls. And you can't mix it up with like a torch or something, because that would just break the wall run, and you won't be able to do wall runs because that's badass. So that's really something that you need to think about, and something that needs to be solved somehow, because you don't want it to look plain either, of course.
Right.
So it's good to hear that he's thinking about that, at least. Really good. But it's looking good. I like the details that he has added. It's good that he added those details, those vertical details on the thinner walls, because there's really not much wall running going to be going on there anyway. So you know that can be there.
Yeah.
And yeah, just nice, nice in general. It's progressing nicely, and yeah, looks good. Looks good, man.
Yep.
Hope to see more from the arena in the future. I guess it's not quite done yet, even though it's getting quite close now, I guess.
Right. Yeah. I really like the can't remember what he called them, the carvings though on the outside with the giant cats. I think those are pretty cool looking.
Yeah, they are pretty cool looking. Indeed they are. He should probably add, he could add color tinting to just the actual carving, so you could decide what color the carving in there should be.
Yep.
Could work. But
Yep.
anyways, we should
Well,
probably
and
move
since
on.
it's just an alpha map, it would be easy enough for anyone to go in and change that, what what can be colored and what can't, and
Yeah,
yeah. So,
absolutely.
yep, more modding possibility all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time and time. Next up, we have shadow grouping. There are just a few tweets here, basically, a couple of them. First up, we have shadow grouping. David says, added a shadow grouping feature so that characters and weapons can overlap. Can overlap shadows without double darkening. We kind of had that problem where if you had two characters behind each other or a character holding a weapon, the shadows would overlap and become double dark. Now that won't happen because that doesn't really make any sense. So that's good to see.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that was also the case if there were multiple characters overlapping. So, I hope that has also been fixed.
Yes, indeed. And then we have another tweet, yeah, from the guys at Wolfire. And pre-order Jerry Kid 72 recorded some fun times with Overgrowth Ragdolls, and this is just a pretty awesome video here of this guy playing around with ragdolls in general, which is something that I think every pre-order has done at some point. Have you done this, Anton?
Absolutely. Probably not quite the pachinko machine-esque version that this is, but I've certainly spent time playing with ragdolls.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The physics in this game is just a lot of fun to play around with. So it's hard to kind of keep away from doing it. You'll see before I start the show sometimes I'll be playing around with ragdolls randomly, and then I'm like, oh right, I need to get ready for the show now.
Yeah.
And what I kind of like about this video in particular is that he adds in the screaming sound. The ooh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that sound is just great to add in random places. It makes it so much fun to look at. Which brings me to another video that I actually found and tweeted about the latest alpha. It's a lot of fun I'm writing, and I linked to this video. So
I think I saw that, but I don't remember what it was.
yeah, let's just take a look at this. It's pretty great. Yeah, periods, as someone writes in the chat.
Yeah.
So if you hit the B button, you actually randomly squirt some blood from your character. I don't know if that works with this mod, but let's try it out. Yeah, it works. So hit B, and then you hit it a lot of times, and it's kind of coming from a weird area on the character, and you hit V to add in the screaming sound, and there you have it, man. It's super great.
It's pretty painful.
It
That's
is
for
very
sure.
painful. Uh, too much fun, too much fun. But that is the end of this Overgrowth Weekly, luckily. Kind of weird Overgrowth Weekly this week, I have to say. Kind of weird, but yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. As usual, hit the follow button on if you're on Justin TV. Just hit the Justin TV button up here and join Justin TV and hit the follow button. It'll be great. You'll get an email once we go live. And on OGWeekly.com, of course, you can have these links here where you can find out where to find more Overgrowth Weekly stuff. So thanks, Anton. Thanks, audience. And we'll see you guys next week.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Bye-bye.